I wasn't able to really have perspective and context. And look, it is hard to have that perspective in that context. I was listening to an episode of the Mel Robbins podcast this morning, which is a great show. And Mel is, I mean, her book, Let Them, is like a phenomenon these days. And I've been a fan of Mel's for the last decade and really love her work. I love her podcast, her show. I'll put a link in the show notes to this particular episode that I was listening to because it was really powerful and poignant. For me, it was actually talking about some of the reasons why we have a tendency collectively, but all of us individually, to be really hard on ourselves, critical of ourselves, particularly how we look and our body image. And she had a couple different experts on and people talking about it. And, there was some interesting stuff and research about today's world and all of our Zoom calls and FaceTimes and selfies and, that it's exacerbated some of this. But one of the psychiatrists that she was interviewing was saying, when you talk to people at the end of life, particularly people who are fortunate enough to live a really long life into their 80s, 90s, up to 100, and even people who are younger, when you talk to them about regrets with respect to knowing that their life is coming to an end, which, by the way, we all know that. We just don't think about it or talk about it all that often. Um, very few people regret not going to the gym or wishing I had lost a little more weight or wishing I had looked a little different. But they regret things that they didn't try or stuff that they didn't, do or risks that they didn't take.